Welcome back to our Italian road trip series. So far, we've hiked the Dolomites, camped in a beautiful mountain hut, and immersed ourselves in Venice. Now we drive south to explore Tuscany. In this film, we indulge in some quintessentially Italian experiences. We potter around Florence, experience the process of making olive oil from scratch, and drive a tiny classic car through the Tuscan countryside. Subscribe to join along on our journey. Ready for an adventure?
City trip.
Come on, Trix.
So we are heading into Florence just for the afternoon because tomorrow it's going to be grey and cloudy, so we're making the most of the last of the sun for this week anyway. We've parked up in a wonderful little car park that is a 20-minute bus ride from Florence city centre, so it's perfect.
We caught the bus into Florence for €2 each.
First stop, food.
We don't often visit cities, but when we do, we love to make the most of the food and treat ourselves to things like smoothies and ice cream. We pottered around before exploring one of the city's hidden historical spots.
So the thing with Italy is there's just so much history everywhere, and we are on our way to the oldest operating pharmacy in the world.
Bit random, but as long as it's the oldest in the world of anything, we're there.
The history of Santa Maria Novella begins in 1221. It's one of the world's oldest pharmacies, which once made treatments for the Black Death. Today it's famous for its beauty products and scents, lots of which are still made using ancient recipes. They even had something for trigger.
Triggy, what do you think? Is that nice?
The whole building is steeped with history. It's part museum, part operating pharmacy. A unique attraction.
Ooh, that's nice.
It smells so good in here. Adam doesn't like perfume, but I love perfume. And I love the fact that there's so much history here. One thing to note about Italy is that everyone loves dogs.
Everywhere we go in Italy, everyone stops Triggy and goes, oh, piccolo, piccolo, piccolo. But you were saying that piccolino is even like smaller than small.
Yes.
So Triggy is called now piccolino.
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 It is bello, means beautiful. Bellino, un po' bellino, un po' bello.
Yeah.
A little
Triggy.
bit bello.
We're up bright and early this morning to visit an olive grove because we are going to be doing some olive harvesting, which I think is the most quintessential Tuscan thing to do. So we're very excited.
After parking up at the top of the farm next to the olive trees, Anna, who helps run the farm, gave us a tour of the grounds.
That's gonna be us later.
The Reggioli farm, nestled in the hills of Tuscany, was truly idyllic. You really get a sense that being here for long enough, you'd feel time moving slowly and notice the seasons transition. The farm is an agriturismo destination, meaning you can visit as a tourist and work on the farm. Everyone here is working in exchange for accommodation, food, or bottles of fresh olive oil.
So here we go, this is definitely going to be a first time for both of us. Olive harvesting, so excited. And yeah, really interested to see the quality of the oil because we've just been told that it is far, far different
Far superior
from the oil that you would get in supermarkets, and that's because the process is completely different.
Yeah, so very excited. Triggy's in the backpack.
He's coming, literally Triggy is coming olive harvesting. How ridiculous.
Which is like, he goes from being in the same place all of his life with the same park to now climbing mountains and
picking olives.
Like what? It's a posh pooch. So the process is quite simple. You basically just pick the olives and drop them on the ground because we've set up a green sheet that will essentially catch them all, and then that way we can collect them at the end.
they all land down here on the floor, and then they get pushed down to the bottom of the hill and then scooped up into those buckets. Happy days.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Picking the olives was a really mindful task, something that can't be rushed. It will take as long as it has to. It's easy to spend a lot of time working on our laptops or phones. Doing something simple and slow with our hands was a welcome change of pace.
Adam is admiring his handiwork.
Yeah, so this is now an empty olive tree. But it's really interesting what we've learned. Anna, who's one of the people who runs this whole farm, she was explaining that olive trees are kind of like, they have this kind of grounding energy. I don't know whether it's energy or smell, but apparently you feel in a better mood. They're good for like grounding you if you're too high up in the clouds. This is how she put it. If you're up in the clouds, it will bring you back down. And if you're feeling low, then they'll bring you back up. And it's so interesting because, like Tanya said, when you're picking the olives, oh look, I found some olives.
Oh, you didn't do a good job then.
Some leftover olives. When you're picking the olives, all you can do is thinking about picking the olives, and obviously there's a nice smell of the tree, and you're outside in normally beautiful weather because olive trees like the warmth. So yeah, there's just something really special about being around these trees, and apparently it's not just us that feel it, it's a thing.
It's mindful and also scientifically proven.
Scientifically mindful. But yeah, these are the olives, look. So it's really interesting what happens when you squidge them. Can I squidge it? Are you ready for me to squidge it?
Oh, good luck.
Okay, well there you go. There's some of it on the lens. It feels like milk that comes out of them, you see? So they're kind of milky, but apparently when you press them and properly squish them down, the oil will come out a lot clearer, but it will come out really green.
Each olive tree produces enough olives, on average, to make around 3 to 4 litres of oil per harvest. Picking olives and being a part of the process really makes you realise how much hard work goes into each bottle and makes you appreciate the oil that little bit more.
Whoa, so many.
Loads of them. It's lovely to be back in Jits after a hard day out on the olive groves.
You don't get to say that every day.
No. But yeah, it's just so cool to have Jits here right next to where we're staying, because they actually let you have camper vans here, as well as their own accommodation and their own rooms. We have just Jits right here, so it's just really nice.
Yeah, I love being here, and it's just nice to be next to nature, and
yeah, it's just lovely. And yeah, they host us for dinner and for lunch, and it's just kind of like the best of both worlds, having Jits and having the place down there, so lovely.
Don't judge 𝗔𝗣𝗣𝗥, he was just giving himself a shower.
Was he?
A tactical shower.
It's got to be done, Trix. Personal hygiene when you're in a van, right? It's van life.
The morning started slowly, the way only a country morning does. The cold dew resting on the olives, the warm sun rising over the hills, the people and animals rising early.
So we have been loving having Trigger in the van so much that I jokingly, we've been joking about cloning him a lot, and I googled it, and it turns out that that is a thing. You can pay $50,000 to have your dog cloned. I had no idea. $35,000 to get a cat cloned, by the way, in case maybe that's more affordable. But that's mad. There's multiple companies that are doing this.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had no idea. I didn't look into it any further than how much it cost and the fact that it was possible. But yeah.
We were chatting about it, and we were like, oh, we'd love to ask you, what do you think of that? Would you clone your pet?
Is it wrong or is it amazing? What is it? Is it something we should be doing or should be freaked out by? Because I'm unsure about how I feel about it.
Yeah, so let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know.
The So it's really exciting because all of these crates, well, we think all of these crates are going to get pressed this evening, and we're going to go and watch the magic happen from olives to olive oil. Yes.
We bought a couple of bottles of the best olive oil money can buy, straight from the 2022 harvest, and loaded the olives into the van.
We've got our olive oil, and we might be taking some cats with us.
Oh, I wish.
We drove to the olive pressing facility and the olives were weighed.
So we've just unloaded all the olives into here. They go down through a little funnel and then they end up on a conveyor belt and they get washed and strained and pressed and everything.
During the olive harvest season, the olive factory runs 24/7. You book your spot and turn up with your olives. It was midnight by the time we saw our first drop of olive oil.
So behind us is the oil coming out of the pressing machine, the whole factory here. And this is it. This is the spoils of everyone's work. And the colour is so cool. What? I'm assuming you can hear us, but who knows?
We were so grateful to be able to experience the process of making olive oil from tree to bottle. We said goodbye and thanked Anna and Christian for allowing us to be part of this year's harvest.
It's been an early morning start for us, and today we're doing something really different, something that's been on our bucket list for so long, and yeah, cannot wait. We're gonna leave Jits behind and we're gonna go on a road trip.
We were hiring a classic car, a tiny classic car. This is a 1960s Fiat, rented from Vintage Tours Tuscany, who kindly invited us to take it out for the day.
Actually looks massive on camera.
Does it?
Yeah, one with this lens right here. I like the sunroof.
This is amazing! Woohoo!
Whoa, it's like a go-kart.
It feels like a go-kart.
Doesn't feel safe, I have to say.
We don't even know where we're going.
No, where are we
I
going?
don't know.
We are on our way to go to a little hot spring. There seems to be a few of them dotted around Tuscany. So we figured whilst we've got a little nippy car, we'll just nip off to a hot spring. If you've seen our first Italy film, then you will see that we went to the very, very famous one, which is called something I can't remember at the moment. And we're on our way to a slightly less famous one, but still supposed to be beautiful nonetheless, in our little car that feels like a go-kart.
We rattled along the beautiful Tuscan roads, and after Google taking us the wrong way and Adam not being able to get into reverse,
So Tanya's gonna have to get out and push.
we made it to the baths. We walked down to the thermal baths of San Filippo, and unfortunately, since Trigger couldn't go in, we had to take it in turns to take a quick dip.
Shame you're not allowed in, eh, Triggs? So that was lovely, nice little pit stop. It's not as busy as the other one, but it's still busy enough to be a busy thing. But yeah, really good fun, really glad we did it. Now, back to the car.
We wanted to make the most of our little car, so we spent some more time driving the beautiful roads of Tuscany before reluctantly returning it. A massive thank you to the lovely people at Vintage Tours Tuscany for giving us the opportunity to experience this tiny classic car.
After a very exciting day in our little car, we're back in Jits and we're off to park up somewhere.
It's our favourite non-wild camping spot
this
ever, and we stayed here in 2020.
Yeah, we cannot wait to show you this. We'll give you a proper little tour of it just to show you.
It just happens to be 15 minutes away from where we get the cars.
Oh, it's so nice.
Oh my god, Jits is flying. She drives so nicely. It's so funny because like driving her after driving that really old car, it's like, oh my god, she drives so well. But then it'd be interesting to drive like a really modern car, compare that to Jits, because then I'd be like, oh, Jits is so clunky. But now she feels so smooth. This spot is our favourite non-wild camping spot that we have ever had. It's just perfect. It's got free electricity, it's got water, it's got bins, it's obviously got places to empty your grey waste, your black waste, and it's got everything. And it's on the edge of a beautiful little old town, and it's got a lovely view over a vineyard and an olive grove.
It was the perfect spot for us to stop and work on our podcast and enjoy some bruschetta, using the olive oil made from the same olive grove we harvested. What an absolute treat.
I don't know if your soul's feeling low, if your heart's growing cold, you just need the drop of summertime, and you know, if your day feels too long, you just need a tiny song.
So good. There's just something so satisfying about the fact that we made our own olive oil from scratch, and now we get to enjoy it. Turkey, are you interested? He's interested too. We hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you have, make sure to give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and I'm also very excited to be heading down south because it's getting a little bit chilly up here and the days are getting shorter, so off we go.
And with that, we made our way south. Join us next time as we head further south and discover the beautiful Positano. Thanks so much for watching, and a special thank you to our patrons for making our films and our podcast possible.